Good afternoon, everyone. How are we? What an absolutely incredible day. Headphones on. It's actually playing havoc with my hair, this whole thing, isn't it? And earrings, but I've been allowed to keep them in for the day, which is awesome. So thank you so much for coming to my last pod of the day. I said earlier on, I never really considered what it would be like for no one to turn up until I stepped on stage last time, so it's been quite scary, so thank you so much. For those of you who have not met before, my name's Natalie Valenti. I'm going to be with you for about the next 45 minutes talking about my top tips really on retailing at Christmas, on how to make this your best Christmas ever. As always, I will always train you as I would my own team so that we can be more comfortable. And what I did in my last section was all the questions that people answered, I'm going to answer for you just now. So hopefully that fills everything in. So I've been with Forever for just over 6 years now. And I must admit, when I got started, I really wasn't much of a Christmas retailer. It wasn't something that kind of filled me with joy. Now I absolutely love it, because what I've realized is that this is the best time of the year, not just for retailing, but for reflection. And it's also time for us to kind of get our heads in the game to make 2020 our best year yet. It's a big year, isn't it? New decade. So my first question to you in this session is, Christmas, how does it make you feel? Excited? Anyone else? Brilliant. Anyone else? Festive. Good. All good things. However, for myself, before I joined Forever, I was none of those things at Christmas time. Stressed, really worried actually about how on earth was I going to give my 3 kids Christmas presents and the rest of my family. And I think for a lot of people that really is the way. I'm going to show you some stats in a sec that will really show you the magnitude of it. But what I want to say is, don't write off Christmas in terms of retailing, because there's a day coming up in a few weeks called Panic Saturday, where lots and lots and lots of people, my husband included, will be out shopping on that day. I've tried to train him over the last 20 years, but he still probably doesn't know that it's Christmas in a few weeks. So this is the time. So if you're thinking about it at the moment as in people don't really have any money and they might not want to buy my products, people are spending more in the next few weeks than they have for the last 11 months of the year. I am. You are. People are, whether they actually have the money to spend or not. So what we need to get ourselves is in the right frame of mind to say, do you know what? I'm going to get myself out there. I'm not going to write off the year just yet. It's actually the first law of physics is that something in rest will stay in rest. Something in motion tends to stay in motion. So from a couple of weeks of the last, few weeks of talking to my own team, a lot of them have said, I've not had a great year. I'm going to wait till January. I'm going to have a brilliant year. I'm going to start afresh in January. And it doesn't happen that way. It really doesn't. Anything that's in motion will stay in motion and will keep itself moving forward. So if this hasn't been a great year, it's okay to say it's not been my best year, but I'm not going to write it off now, okay? Please don't be tempted to do that like a lot of us are. Start now. So we've got a fresh start as of the 1st of December tomorrow, which I think is really, really exciting. Just a few stats just to give you the kind of magnitude as to how other people feel at Christmas, not all the festive ones. I'm guessing you've had your tree up this month already, have you? Who's got their tree up already? You guys. I will learn. I will get used to it being Christmas every year and just get on with it. But half of Brits last year, these are 2018 stats, paid for Christmas with credit cards and overdrafts. And 1.4 million people paid for Christmas with a payday loan. So as much as it is a great time, I think we need to be really quite mindful that it can be a stressful time for people, but we have a solution for that. So we have a solution with the products, because we're really lucky actually to be with a network marketing company that has a product for everyone and everything. We're not just in cosmetics, we're not just in beauty, we have actually something for everyone. And actually one thing that I would say because there's a lot of guys here as well, is I want you to think about Christmas retailing as well. I know it's kind of seen as a bit of a girly thing, to do stalls and stuff like that. It's wide open for you. Just because there aren't any guys doing it doesn't mean that you can't. It means that, it's basically the market's wide open for you. The cost of Christmas. Now, this is what Google came up with. I think it's a really, really low estimate of what people spend at Christmas. I wish I only spent £800 at Christmas time, but apparently this is what people are spending on average in the UK, and this is what they're currently spending it on. So what we need to think about is how can we basically slide ourselves into these different types of markets. If people are out socialising, how can we be there? How can we be there in front of them? It might be stalls, it might be school fairs, it might be things like charity events. Facebook's a great place for that. I've only really realised this the last couple of months, that you can actually go on Facebook and type in your area of where you live and click events, and it will tell you a list of every event that's in your area. I mean, it's just an absolute no-brainer. And lastly, a swear word in my mind, budget. I hate the word, my husband loves it. But a lot of people have to budget at this time of year. And again, I just want you to keep your minds open a little bit as to we don't actually have to do that. So if this hasn't been a great year for you, and perhaps you are struggling a bit this year with Christmas, you have the ability to change that for Christmas 2020. Really keep that in mind. That's what I'm planning on doing. Christmas 2020 for us as a family is going to be completely different to this year, because I have the ability and you have the ability. But if it's to be, it's up to us at the end of the day. So rather than cutting back, rather than just saying to yourself, I've done as much as I can this year, I'm not going to do anything else, I'm going to enjoy my Christmas, and putting yourself in a backward motion, I want you to think about boosting your business forward and spending the last couple of weeks of 2019 setting yourself up for your best year yet. So there's loads of different ways. Of course, we're in the business of network marketing, but for this section, let's just think about ourselves as being in direct sales. So to think about that in itself almost gives you a little bit of clarity, I think. How can I get these products in front of people? So obviously, if you're going to be shopping for your friends' Christmas presents and your family's Christmas presents, that's what we're all going to be doing. I would encourage you to look in your own shop first, because it just makes absolute sense. Christmas launches is something that we've only really started to do in our team, I would say, in the last 2 years really, really well. I'm going to tell you how we do them in a little sec, but it's something that you can actually get planned in for this month and for next. Also, Christmas shopping nights. I overheard a lady in the toilet earlier on saying that she had got together with a few of her team and asked all of their friends and family to come together. So this is what I love about these type of events. If you don't have a team, join on with someone else. If you don't have a downline, do it with your upline, do it with cross lines. What we've done for our Christmas events, we did last month, but you can certainly do them within the next few weeks as well, is we actually all clubbed together one afternoon and brought all of our empty bottles, and we made together the most beautiful hampers. And we had this Christmas shopping night. We had two actually. We had one in a kind of local, like a kind of church hall, and the other one was in the upstairs of our kind of local pub, and we just invited everyone that we knew. We went round our neighbours, our friends, teachers, etc. We didn't get a huge turnout, but almost everyone that came ordered. And we didn't actually have to spend any money on it because we weren't buying in the products, it was all of our empties. So it's great. So these hampers that I'm going to show you in a second will basically be put away now for next year, and then we'll pull them back out again. So just think about something fun. And I think when it comes to retailing, I think we need to think quite luxury, don't we? So think about what would you like for Christmas and then be able to offer that to someone else. I'm going to give you a quick social media strategy at the end as well. So we've got loads and loads of stuff that we can have a look through. So, who loves shopping in the room? Me, love it. One thing that I've always loved, if you go to a really fancy shop like Harvey Nichols, you can get a personal shopper. And a couple of years ago when I did that, I thought, wow, how amazing to be able to do that. So what I started to do with the team, again, only in the last 2 years, but this is hugely successful. And again, I don't want to kind of leave the men out of this, but I'm gonna just kind of, you'll see what I mean in a sec. Lots of men in the world are like my husband that don't know that it's Christmas in a few weeks because I'll take care of everything. So what we are doing is we are using our who do you know list, and we're approaching every single man that we know, friends, colleagues, every single man that's on our Who Do You Know list, and we're sending them a quick voice note or a text if you're not brave enough, just to say, hi John, how are you? Not seen you in a while. I just wanted to let you know that we're offering a personal, bespoke, personal shopping experience this year, where we will make a hamper or a gift to your budget for anyone that you would like us to make it for. We will hand wrap it and we will hand deliver it to your door. Is that of interest to you? So men, is that of interest to you? Yes, of course it's of interest to me. If someone was to message me and say that, I'd say, I'm all ears. Tell me about it. So you could send that as a text, you could send it as a WhatsApp, you could call someone and say it. But what we've been really successful with this is using your Who Do You Know list, because that's what it's for. At the end of the day, if you haven't got a Who Do You Know list because you think, I'm just a retailer, you're actually doing yourself an in-service, because your Who Do You Know list is going to make life so much easier when it comes to contacting people about things like this. So rather than just looking through for our brothers and our cousins and things like that, we've actually got quite clever with it last year and started to look at our dads' Who Do You Know lists. So my dad's 70, he's retired, but he's had a really, really good career, and he knows lots and lots and lots of men in corporate positions or who are heads of golf clubs and things like that. Do you see what I mean? You have these people in your lives as well. And what we've been doing is we've been taking the numbers of these guys and giving them a quick call to say, hi, I'm Freddie Valenti's daughter. My dad passed your number over to me. I just wanted to let you know that I offer a personal, bespoke hamper service. And what we found is that these guys order lots of them, lots. And I'm talking about 10, 11, 12, 13 hampers at once. And that's been incredible. But again, it's having the bravery to approach these types of men. So I want you to really go home tonight and think, have a good look at your list and think, who do I know? Look at your dads or your brothers or your aunts, your uncles, who do you know list, and ask them who do they know. So my dad's obviously is in his 70s, but he's got an old phone book that he's had for like 50 years. There's lots and lots of contacts in there. And the hampers that you're going to make can be of any different description. So there's some of the girls in the team that like to focus more on the kind of furry friends part of it, for pets. Lots of the people have been focusing purely on gifts for mums. For me, I think approaching the guys is going to be your first port of call if you've not done that in the last couple of weeks. What you're trying to do is make yourself as convenient to people as possible. Don't sit at home with all of these amazing products and think that people know what they are, because they have no idea. And that's what we do, don't we? We sit and think, oh, I'm a business owner, why is no one buying my stuff? It's because they don't know. So you have to be bold, you have to be brave and go out there and offer that service. And I hope that you get as much success from it as we have. So you can, again, just be as creative with them as you like. Here's what some of ours look like this year. Before I joined Forever, I actually had never heard of a shop called Home Bargains. Now it's my favourite shop of all time, because it allows you to create things that are luxury but on a really tight budget. And I want you to think about when you're creating these gifts that they have to look special, okay? This one's been our biggest seller last year and this year, and it's called the Night Before Christmas Hamper. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of Forever Living products in there. But what we're trying to do is it's not just about selling Forever products. We're trying to create an experience for people. So last year we sold a lot of the Night Before Christmas hampers, and we became a personal shopper. So I would say to this guy that I'm working with as my client, how old is your girlfriend? What size is she? What is she like? What colours does she like? And I would go out and buy her fluffy socks, nice pyjamas, a little eye mask, a bottle of Prosecco if that's what she liked, her favourite chocolates. But I would then sprinkle that in with a biocellulose mask, some eye cream. We always put in a really nice little decoration for the tree, because that will remind that girl of when she got that, and it reminds her then of the product. And everyone that bought these last year, almost everyone has come back this year. So I don't know if this is becoming a thing now. Do you guys do this, a Night Before Christmas hamper? Yes? I do it for my kids every single year. So they open it the night before, they get their new PJs on. But this is more of an adult version, I guess. And it's lovely, and it's creating an experience It's not just a one-off, buy my stuff. Does that make sense? And again, you can make it look like whatever you want it to look like, but think about luxury. And one of the things that I love that I've seen a lot of today is the little yellow bags. You know, the little yellow Forever bags. That looks exactly like a Selfridges bag. I seen a lady on the train yesterday and she had one and I thought, oh, she's an FBO as well. Like, I have to talk to her. And it wasn't, it was a Selfridges one. But think about that type of luxury, because our products are outstanding. Get yourself some nice black wrap, black tissue, some nice black ribbon, and give that luxury gift. Obviously, you're going to cater to their budget. You're going to wrap things. So essentially, you are taking the stress out of Christmas for other people. And I think that's what really is special about the service that we can offer. And again, having your list is going to make your life so much easier. And it means that you'll go into the new year with new contacts and happy customers. That's ultimately what we're looking for. So Dawn here would kill me if she's seen this picture, but thankfully she's not here. One of these things that we've started to do, again, over the last couple of years, rather than winding down at Christmas time, we wind it up at Christmas time, because we know if we start now, we're into motion in the new year. So pamper and Prosecco parties. In Scotland, a lot of the girls call it pink gin and good skin parties. Again, it's whatever your favourite tipple is, you can name your party after it. And this is a great way of encompassing the Forever ethos of it's not just what you get, it's what you give, okay? So yes, we're here to make money, but ultimately we want people to see the Forever brand and go, I like that. We want people to feel our energy and come back every single year. So this is a party that I did last Saturday evening. And what we do is we just use our Who Do You Know list again to contact people. And there's certain words that you can use to make sure that this works well. Rather than just saying, I'd like to offer you a free pamper and Prosecco party, what we're saying is, I only have space to offer 5. I would love you to be one of them. Can I put you down as one of my 5 parties this year? So we're offering them in the month of December and through the month of January as well. Because if you think people are miserable in December, wait till January comes. That's even worse. So thinking about, as a Forever business owner, how can I lift people up? How can I raise their vibration? And every time I do one of these parties, I always start off by saying, ladies, you can relax. I don't have anything to sell. All of the products that I've brought along with me are mine. I'm just going to let you try them. And you can almost see their shoulders going, oh. Because you can go to parties sometimes and you feel obliged to buy, don't you? It's horrible, and you think, I don't really have any money, I can't really buy anything. Whereas I always say to them, listen, this is about relaxing. I want you to get as much out of this as you possibly can. Sit back and let me do the work. One of the things, and this is why Dawn has this mask on, is that everyone that comes into the room, I will welcome with a little clipboard and say, could you do me a favour and just fill in this prize draw questionnaire? So I'm collecting their data, I'm finding out a little bit about them, but more so for that night in particular is I'll fold it up and I'll put it in a little bowl. And to start the evening off, once everyone arrives, is I'll kind of just fish out one name, and that lucky lady, which was Dawn last Saturday night, wins, if they won on the evening, a full pamper experience. Now when you do that, the whole room suddenly goes, damn it, I wish it was me. And what I will then do, if they would like to, not everyone wants to take their makeup off and be pampered in front of people, but Dawn loved it, as you can see. She was amazed that she could still drink Prosecco through her mask, which is always a bonus. She was pleased about that. What I'll then do is, everyone sits down and it's really relaxed. It's not a presentation. I'll basically sit on the floor next to them and we start to use the product. So Dawn used the cleanser. She then used the exfoliator. And I mean that exfoliator is on another level. I rant about this product. Anyone not used it? Oh, please buy it. Honestly, it's incredible. Now again, I'm saying that I'm not selling stuff, but I know when she's using that she's selling it for me. I don't even have to say anything. She's going, oh my God, I can't believe my face has never felt. And I'm saying, really? I know, isn't it amazing? And then I give them the choice to use either the mask and activator, or they can use a biocellulose mask. So obviously that's, it's an investment. It's £10 of your own money that you're going to be using that mask for. But what an investment. Because what happens is after half an hour when she takes that off, people are like, oh, Wow, it looks amazing. So that's a really simple, easy tip. It's great for parties. It engages people straight away. And then, I'm not selling anything, but if you would like to order at the end, I just basically leave a little piece of paper and people can order as they choose. So think about it that way. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? I would love it for someone to come to my house. Now, what you're then doing is you're opening yourself up to a whole new network. The host on the evening, for being the host, is going to get a great discount, and you can choose that to be whatever you want it to be. But what you're also going to try and do on that night is encourage everybody else to host a party for you as well. And this is networking in a really, really nice, organic and fun way. So yeah, there's loads of different versions of this that you can do, but for me that's what works absolutely perfectly. And I think come January, people have no money in January. It's always a time of people are a bit, do you see what I mean? They're a bit they're not like us, they're not FBOs. They're almost a bit, waiting for the year to kickstart. This is a great thing to offer people. And what I also do is when everyone is leaving, not when they come in, but as they're leaving, I'll say thank you to everyone and give them all a little goodie bag, which is our frosted bag. It's got a full product brochure in it, it's got my business card in it, and it's got a couple of little product samples. Now, the reason I do that at the end of the night is because if you do it at the beginning, people find the samples and go, oh, that's good, I'll use them first, and then I might buy something. And you're nodding because it must happen to you as well. So if you give them that, it's almost like a little add-on. I just think it's a lovely thing to do at the end of the evening. You could put some business information in there as well if you wanted to do. So there's loads and loads of different things that you could do. The main thing that we put in the bags in December and January is a product voucher. So you could make it a £5 voucher, a £10, a £20 voucher, whatever you want, but make sure it expires at the end of January. So it's almost, that's a call to action for people to say, oh, I need to spend that. I need to spend it. So about 20 years ago, I signed up for Topshop online. I must have bought something and signed up online. And every year, on my birthday, they send me a voucher. Anyone else get that from Topshop? I bet you do. And I go online and I buy stuff because it's a call to action, and I'm like, oh, I'll treat myself. So think about that. To boost your sales come the end of January, you're going to give somebody a little discount or a voucher to use, which is great. So this was a picture that was taken last Saturday at one of my Christmas stalls, or winter wellness bars as we're now calling them. Because she's not here, I can say this. If Pauline, my team member, wasn't with me, I would have made it look different, but she wanted this stuff on the end. So when I start my winter wellness bars next week, I'm only going to have the 2 little trees, and I'm going to absolutely fill it with the Christmas baubles. So I've been doing these Christmas baubles for years, and every year I say I'm never doing that again. Because those of you who know, it's back-breaking work, but it's so, so worth it because everybody loves them. The reason I only want to have the baubles on it is because I like simplicity, and I think that most people do, So that for me was a little bit confusing. I could see people kind of going, what is it they're selling? Whereas for me, when I go and do it, I'm just going to have baubles. Now I've got 20 winter wellness bars booked in for December. 20, so I'm going to be out. That's a lot of baubles. It's a lot. But what I find with these is that they're affordable. They're £5. Some people will buy them in multiples, and when they pick one up, say to them, "Do you only want one? Do you not need one for your kids? Christmas teacher gift, or one for your granny, or anything like that?" Always encourage people to buy more because they can, because they're only £5. So keep it as simple as you can. My top tip for this is to come prepared. So a couple of years ago when I started to do these bars with the trees and the baubles, because I'd never really done it before, I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. So for example, people would come over and go, "Oh, can I have one of them?" And I'd go, "Yeah, pick one." And they'd pick it off and the whole tree would go flying and all the baubles would fly across. Like, that happened several times. So now I'm always like, don't touch my trees. I'll get you a bauble. And I've got lots of baubles underneath, one that I've prepared earlier, and I'll pull it out in their little frosted bag. It's got a smile card, it's got my business card, it's got a brochure, it's got everything that they need to know about me, plus their baubles already in it. That will make your life so, so much easier if you're doing this. One of the questions someone asked last time was, where do we get the baubles? I get mine from eBay, actually. And as long as they're 10 centimetres wide, you're all good. I bought some before and they've been this size. So they need to be 10 centimetres wide, and all you do is fill them with whatever you like. So mine have got a little tiny Lindt chocolate, an aloe lips, and some sprinkly stuff. Just beware of the sprinkly stuff. It will ruin your carpet for life. I've ruined yet another rug. It has to go in the bin just from making these, but it will be worth it 100%. Now, when you're going to be doing your aloe bars or your winter wellness bars, I think it's really important to, yes, get a picture standing behind it, but never stand behind your bar. And this is actually a huge bugbear of mine. I do 3 aloe bars per week. I've got one in my local library, which I'll tell you about in a sec. I do my local gym, and I've got a kind of local pop-up marketplace every Saturday in Glasgow. And every Saturday morning I go and I set up, and it's the same other business owners, and they set up their stalls beautifully, and then they sit down, pull out their picnic, and then they literally just play on their phone all day and wonder why nobody buys anything. It drives me nuts, and I think, nah, it's none of your business. Don't give them advice. It's crazy, you know, and actually if you stand behind your bar, what you'll do is this: you'll hide your phone and sneaky do that, because I've done that myself before as well. Put your phone down and come out to the other side. Don't stand right in front of it, stand at the side of it and speak to everyone that walks past you. Now, this is not me, okay? This is not my personality. I have taught myself how to do this. It's a painful process if it's not your personality, but you'll get used to it and you'll be so glad. There's been so many times where I have not wanted to go to these, every time pretty much. And I never leave thinking, I wish I'd never done that. I always leave thinking, that was amazing. Because what it allows you to do is make a connection with people. One thing that we did do at this one, which I do at all of my aloe bars, is I've got a little, it's an olive dish, actually. It's a little, I bought it in Spain, and it holds 3 little shot cups of aloe. So I don't just leave the aloe on the table. I'll stand with my little olive dish, and it's got a plain, a peach, and a berry. And everyone that walks past, I say to them, would you like to try aloe? Would you like to try a little shot of aloe? Did you know that you could drink aloe? Rather than just saying, hi there, hi, because it's easy for people to just say hi and walk away. So I find that by asking them a question, it makes them, I mean, sometimes people still say, no, I don't want to drink it. And you think, that's great, have a nice day. But most people I find will engage and say, well, what is it? No, I didn't know that you could drink it. And it's just a great way of getting people talking. And that's what our job is we ask a question and then we listen to the answer. Someone asked me the last pod that I did, how do I find these aloe bars? The one that I have in my local library, I know it sounds like a bit of a weird one, but I'm there on a Friday from 1 till 2. It's only for 1 hour. And the reason I go there is because I can see the library from my house pretty much. And I used to see all these mums going in with their buggies. So I waited until they came out one day and I went in and I asked, what do all the mums do? And it's I think it's called book bugs. Basically, you'll have it in England. It's basically mums can go along and someone reads to their child. But I thought, really? I said to the girl, would you mind if next week, if I just pop in when the mums are coming out and offer them a little shot of aloe vera? So what I don't say is, I'm a forever business owner, I sell aloe vera, I'd really like to sell my products to people, because instantly people go, no thanks. What I say to them is, would you mind if I came in and talked about the benefits of the aloe vera plant? I find if you say the word plant, they go, oh, that sounds really interesting. If I said I'm a forever business owner, I'd like to sell some aloe, they kind of want you to walk away a little bit. So that's how I got into the library. They don't charge me, which is great. The other one that I do in the gym is not my gym, because that's a Herbalife gym. They would never let me in. But it's a local gym that I can get to. And again, I've seen lots of people coming in and out. And my aloe bar there, I don't even have a table. My aloe is actually propped on a big speaker outside of the gym classes. And I asked the guy, what's your busiest time? I'm going to stay totally out of your way. I'm not selling anything. I'm just going to let people try a little shot of aloe vera, and I'm going to tell them about the benefits of the aloe vera plant. Initially, to get all of those aloe bars, I didn't call them. I went in and visited them. So have a little look at your local area. Again, Facebook's brilliant for that. You know, finding out what is in your, or even just go outside and walk around and see what offices and things are around you, and just go in and actually introduce yourself to them. I find that that's a much easier way of people saying yes than no. Because at the end of the day, you're kind of going to get in their way a little bit. You know, they don't really want you to come in. It's easier actually if you're not there sometimes. So you want to say to them, I'm going to say totally out of your way, I'll only be here for an hour and I'm just going to talk about the benefits of the aloe plant. And it's a really, really simple, easy way of getting out, getting in front of people. What we've always learned, funnily enough, is when we are online and we meet people, what are we told? You're on Facebook and you meet someone, we're told to get them offline, aren't we, as quickly as possible. Start speaking to them, meet them, have a coffee with them. But what I find with this is the opposite. So I'm meeting people in real life, chatting away with them, but I always say that before they walk away, whether they've bought anything or not, is, are you on Facebook? And most people say yes. And I say, listen, if you're interested in aloe vera, I'm happy to add you into my VIP customer group. There's loads of interesting stuff in there. I think you'd really, really like it. And that's how I connect with people that I meet. Your prize draw questionnaires, don't get me wrong, are invaluable. But what you'll find is if you meet someone in person, and then you add them on social media and you've left them feeling really, really good that day, they will 100% look you up and they'll be nosy. So this is why being out in public and meeting people, but also doing your business well online, they go hand in hand. Because you want people to look at you online and go, she's actually the real deal. She's as positive as she was on here as she was in real life. So it's a good, I think to have a good balance is a really good thing. Yes, stand up behind your stalls. Please don't sit down. It's the worst thing ever. Here's a couple of little examples of vouchers. You can make them up in any way that you like. And again, you could even sell them to your regular customers. There's loads and loads of different things that you could do with your vouchers. And this is what people are using. All of my local nail technicians, lash technicians are all now posting, I've seen in the last couple of weeks that they're doing gift vouchers. So we're no different. When it comes to your social media strategy, I think obviously being mindful that we need to order sooner rather than later. I spoke to the girls at head office earlier on. They've asked that we get our Christmas orders in no later than the 16th to absolutely make sure that we get them before Christmas. So just be mindful of that. And I think knowing that day is also a really good thing to be able to go back to your regular customers, even people who haven't been regular for years. You could go back to them and say, listen, I was at Success Day today. I found out that our last order date before Christmas is the 16th. If you do want anything, if you want a top up, or if you want to have a look at some of my gifts, just let me know before the 16th. So it's a good way to re-engage with people tonight. That's what I'm going to be doing when I'm at the airport. And make sure that when you are using a social media strategy to promote products, that you're not promoting your Christmas gifts too late in the month. So that if you haven't started to do it, needs to start tomorrow. I would say for the first week, definitely things like stocking fillers, hampers, 100%. But later on in the month, you need to think about switching your focus to things like C9. The super greens I know for sure is going to be a big focus for Forever UK in January because it's Veganuary, which I'm super chuffed about because I love all of that type of stuff. And if you've not tried the greens, oh my God, I love the stuff. It's absolutely incredible. So what I've decided to do with my team, and again I've done it for the last couple of years, is make this month as simple for them as possible, because I know that not everyone in my team is as focused as I am, and that's normal, okay? So if you have a team, you could maybe think about doing this as well. So what I'm offering my team and my clients and customers for the next 24 days is 12 deals of Christmas. It's not a deal as in they're going to get it cheap, because they've just had that yesterday for Black Friday and they're not getting that again. But what I'm going to give them in the deal is a freebie. So they might get a free gift, they might get a free aloe lips, they might get a free bag of samples, something like that. But we're pitching it as 12 deals of Christmas. So our first deal tomorrow is just going to be 2 shakes. That's the deal, 2 shakes. The reason we're thinking about that earlier on in the month is because I know that there's a lot of people who would love to do a C9 before Christmas, but they can't afford it, or they don't want to spend that amount of money on themselves. We've already spoke about it being a panic season, so people will be panicking about looking good at Christmas, about going to their Christmas parties, all of that type of stuff. So this is a great way. So what my team are going to be doing is I'm going to give them a picture of the shakes, and then I'm going to give them the exact wording of what I want them to send out to people. So if I want my team to do that, I'm going to need to do it myself, aren't I? And it's a really simple way of making sure that your business is still moving through Christmas if you have a team. One thing I will say when it comes to talking about the products is don't assume that everyone knows what our products do, because it doesn't say on the packaging. So if you are going to talk about the shakes, in the message you need to break down the benefits of the shakes. So the fact that they're lactose free, the fact that they don't have any aspartame, the fact that they can be so flexible that you could use them for breakfast, for lunch, the fact that they're packed full of vitamins plus amino acids. But keep this message that you're going to send out, keep it as brief as possible, because people are busy and they can't be bothered reading long messages. So you just do it in little bullet points. So the message will consist of, "Hi Sue, how are you?" Always asking them a question. The question is always, "Are you ready for Christmas?" I hate it when people ask me that, but other people love it. I always ask them a question first. "Are you ready for Christmas?" And just letting you know that we've got an amazing deal today and I thought it would be perfect for you. So you're not going to send this shake message to everyone that you've ever known. You're going to look at your who do you know list beforehand and you're going to say, this is who I'm going to focus the first 2 days in December on. This who I think is going to like the shake. So it might be people who have done a C9. It might be people who have never bought a C9. It might be people who, you think that they would enjoy that type of product, and you're going to send it out. That's basically what we do. The next 2 days, we're going to focus on entirely on something else. So what this means is that you're not spamming your sister, for example, with 12 products. She doesn't get the 12. She gets the 1 or 2 that are specific to her. The next one actually that we're going to be doing is the biocellulose mask, because I love it. It's my favorite product, but it's also a brilliant thing for stocking fillers. It's great for the night before Christmas. It's great for little girly get-togethers. It's great for people who go out at Christmas, which is not me, but some people do go out at Christmas. So think about those type of people. Write a message. "Hi Sue, how are you? You all ready for Christmas? I just wanted to let you know about this special deal that we've got this month on our biocellulose mask. It is amazing because da 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 da." So you would say it's biodegradable. You can actually put it out your window after you've used it. It feels like nothing else. And maybe give a few personal tips in there as well. So with the biocellulose mask, I keep mine in the fridge because it's powerful on its own, but my God, when it's cold, it is on another level of soothing. And I find that if you make these messages personal and personal to how you use the products, that's how people are going to be buying them. Does that make sense? Good. If not, come and speak to me at the end, because I don't think it'll work with the headphones on. When it comes to a little bit later, towards maybe the 20th, moving into the kind of Christmas period where we will kind of lose people in that abyss, I want you to be using your social media to be talking about the products that are helping you stay on track. So you'll know this yourself. When you go and do an aloe bar, for example, and there's a couple of FBOs there, people will always say, "You all look dead glowy. You all look dead energized and happy." So there's no coincidence that the products do that. No coincidence. So what you could be speaking about over the Christmas period, it's not buy me, buy me, buy me. It's this is what's keeping me on track. This is what's keeping me on track maybe for their weight management. This is what's keeping me on track in terms of my energy. Talk about the products that are helping you feel energized. So I get messages all the time from people on Instagram because I'm showing on my stories every day, "I'm doing this today, I'm doing this." And people say, "Nat, I'm tired watching you. Like, how do you do all that stuff?" And I say, because as soon as I wake up, I take a therm. And I do. Did it this morning. As soon as I wake up, pop, and I'm done. And people don't know that. They can go and look on your website and scroll through and see all of these amazing images, but it doesn't tell them what they do. So that's our job, okay? So you could use that as part of your strategy as well. In terms of Boxing Day, again, this is a kind of bugbear. We kind of think that we have to sell our products cheap on Boxing Day, don't we? When we don't. So something that we've done in the last 2 years that's worked incredibly well, and honestly I don't know who came up with it, is a thing called Deal or No Deal, like the TV program. So basically what happens is we decide as a team 10 products that are the best sellers. So obviously it's your C9, it's your aloe, it's all of the things that sell every single month. And we will then go on our social media and we'll put a picture of the C9 and we put the RRP, what we want for it, and then we'll put a picture next to it that says deal or no deal, and your customer will then be able to private message you an offer. And it's amazing. Because you're not on Facebook saying, buy me, buy me, buy me. You're just saying, for today, you can make me an offer on a C9. And of course, someone will be really cheeky and come back and say, oh, I'll give you 50 quid. And you say, no deal. And then they'll say, well, 65, and you say, no deal. So this isn't about selling your products cheap. This is about holding the products up high, but taking the amount of profit from it as what you would like. And it's not spamming, and it's not Boxing Day sale, because we've done that, haven't we? We all get forced into the kind of Black Friday thing, which annoys me, but we have to do it at the end of the day. But the deal or no deal thing, if you've never done it before, is genius. Has anyone done that before? You know the program though, don't you? So that you can say the banker says no deal, or the banker says yes, and then you make a deal with that person. And again, it's just a great way of keeping your team ticking over during that period. 3 years ago, before we realised the deal or no deal thing, what we were doing was online events. Now, online events between Christmas and New Year is tough, especially if you're the one that has to do it, arrange everything. So this has taken the stress out of that for me, and I love it, and I hope that it works for you guys as well. So just think about that now. Don't wait for Boxing Day to come. So just to summarise, have a little think about your December. Be honest with yourself. Did you write it off? Did you think, I'm going to go to Success Day and then that's me done for the year? Or are you motivated after what you've heard today? I am. I've just came from Jane's speech and I'm ready to go. So, it really all is in what you're willing to do with it. So please don't be thinking that people aren't interested at this time of year. When it comes to building a business, please don't think that people can't afford the £199. Because if they need that money, they will find it. What you could do is offer to have them a pamper and prosecco party, and whatever profits are made on the night, that pays for their box. So there's always ways and means. Ask them if they're selling anything on eBay to buy Christmas presents, because they could sell something on eBay to buy their box, and people genuinely do that. They can find the money if they want it, but ultimately it's about how we get that excitement across to them. Please don't think that they will want to start in the new year. And actually, a top tip for this is when people say to me, as they did this week, I'm just going to wait for the new year. Now, I'll buy my box in the new year. And I say, you can't wait for the new year, because come the 1st of January, people are going to want C9s from you. Why would you lose out on those sales? Now, that's not lies. It's the truth. Why would you wait? I always say to them, buy your box now. I don't have to get in touch with you until January, but use the products over the Christmas period. Use your shakes, use your supplements, and come the 1st of January, you're going to hit the ground running. So you can follow up on anyone that said to you, I'm going to wait till the new year. Say, I've been at Success Day today and I've realised we're going to miss the boat here. We need to get on it. We need to make sure that you have a license to trade as of the 1st of January. People do need an extra income, and I think that's what's really exciting about 2020 is people are looking. They're out there looking. They want to change their circumstances, and we have the perfect opportunity for people to do that. Now, before I go, an extra little special Christmas gift that the company have given to us. Have you all seen this? I think it's genius. So basically, we can buy this as of Monday. Your customers are going to be able to be given a 15% discount. It's a full packet of the masks, biocellulose mask, plus the gel mask, which is amazing. My biggest thing also for Christmas gifts, but for salons. This is a perfect introduction for a salon. They can use the biocellulose mask in the salon, but they've also then got a kind of follow-on gift that they can sell to their customer to kind of keep those lasting benefits of the mask. So thank you so much, everyone. It has been an incredible day, an absolute pleasure to share some tips with you. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.